right now. We're just trying to keep them healthy and happy, and they're going to the track for the first time this morning right now, so see how they go over it and stuff. So and they have to break well. The draw. I got the bob hole a lot, so it's like one of those things where it's almost. I always joke this year, I think that they put me in the one and they draw the races, but. One thing about my horses, though, they're used to the one hole, so it's tough. You know what? One thing about the Breeders' Cup, every year that I come here, it's tough. I mean, it's the best horses. Some horses run well that day, some are tailing off. I don't think I'm bringing any horses in here that are tailing off. I know in the past, I used to bring horses here that were starting to tail off, and so, I've changed the way I do things, bringing them into this race, and so. The factor, his last race wasn't really, he just went 21 flat, got into a little bit of I think he was a little flat that day too. So, but the way he worked the other day, I mean, he looked pretty, but we've got to see how he goes over here. But I know last year when I worked him here, he worked really well. So I don't worry about that. I just, the thing is, he's got to get out of the gate. The one hole, sometimes they break about a half step slow, but I just leave that up to the jockeys. From here on out, I lead them up there and just wish those guys good luck, and you need racing luck from here on out. I think he could run short, but the reason I went with a mile, I was so afraid if he drew the one, because if he would have gone in the sprint, definitely he would have been in the one. And so...
Then they would have drawn the race.
Yeah, and then he would have just, then he just would have, I didn't want, that's why I went with a mile. And the thing is, he's still a young horse, and he likes to, I don't want to put him through that grueling pace, but I think the mile is a good spot for him, and he's got, once he gets into that stride of his, so, I mean, the way he worked the other day, and if he looks good here on the track here, but he worked pretty, like this, he looked like his old self, so. Kendra, she had a little work, she looked happy after that work, so, I'm not sure about her. The California fillies, I think We Miss Frankie is a really good horse. I don't know if Candrea wants to go that far. I'm not sure about her. She really surprised me how well she ran Santa Anita, going 2 turns. They were going pretty fast, but she looked good today out there in the track, so she looked happy, so that's all I can ask for. Drill, he's been working right along. I was really disappointed. Disappointed in his race, got a little tired, and I was disappointed in the way Martine rode him, and so I think he rode him like an old horse, and I was telling him, he's young, he's got to get into the race, but I think he took the blinkers off. He wanted to take the blinkers off, so I just go by a lot with Martine. Martine is a smart rider, and he knows the horses, but sometimes he gets a little bit overconfident on these young horses. You got to he's learning, and he's got to, they don't know how to run yet.